All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and we're going to be going through the live order flow within Bookmap to understand exactly what's going on. The live order flow within the Bookmap, participants in the auction market process. That's what order flow can do. That is the edge that we can get by understanding how participants are engaging in the market, and they do it via their orders. So it just holds the logic here. If we can understand their orders, their behavior, then that gives us an edge to understand where they're positioned, where they're trapped, where we see a lot of activity going in a certain direction. So that's what we're here for, and that's the edge that we're going to try to exploit using Bookmap here in this webinar. Onboarding schedule, I've gone through that. This is over. The blue jacket, I hope you guys entered, but Bruce's pilot program. So the program that we've had now for some months, but it's about building an edge. It's about understanding where, most traders out there, they can understand setups extremely well, and then they start trading them immediately. And that's the problem, because they haven't really back tested. And everyone says, oh, we should back test, you should back test it, you got to prove it for yourself. And no one knows how. That's where this program fills that gap. Okay, we will go through a process so you will understand how to build an edge for yourself. And it's going to be it's invaluable. We've had a lot of traders in here already partake in it, and the results have been really good. So if you're interested, I'll put the link into the chat for you. You will need to have Bookmap in order to partake in it. Obviously, that makes good sense. We'll be using some special tools in Bookmap to leverage in this process. All right, so what is our process for trading? It's the same as the Bookmap Academy, and it is what we do for the journaling and building our playbook. We start with the impetus, what's moving the markets, then we get to our key levels in the higher time frame, what's happening at those levels, because that's what we want to understand, where the traders are reacting. And we're looking for reactions around those key levels. Then we start to develop scenarios and strategies. So if it's high of day, is there a lot of interest? Is it going to break out from the high of day? If it's not, if there's a lot of profit taking, is it going to fade that area, and we're going to see the reversal take place, or a mean reversion trade at that point? These are the things in number 3 here, strategies and scenarios. And then number 4 is finally we get down to our setup. We should know our setup extremely well. There should be no question. We just execute. We wait for our order flow events to give us insight to manage and execute our trades. All right, some disclosures. General disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. Let's take a look and what is happening here. Okay, we're looking at the S&P E-mini. Again, this is the All Markets webinar, so we can look at other markets if you like as well. All right, so anyway, let's zoom out here and get our bigger picture perspective. Again, we're going to start off here. We're not going to just jump into the order flow here. We're going to understand the impetus, what's moving the market. And there are many things out there that are affecting the market at the moment. Well, first off, we don't have much of a government in terms of the data that we're receiving. So like employment data, we're not getting it because of the shutdown. So what are we looking at? We're looking at earnings. What were the earnings like last week? They were extremely good for the Mag 7. That still seems to be the story moving forward. But maybe we're seeing also a lot of profit taking right now too after those earnings, and people locking in their profits. And what else? Well, the Fed rate cut last week as well. What's it going to be like in December? And it's not too clear right now, especially with the lack of employment data, which has been one of the deciding factors. The CPI data and the inflation data has kind of curved back. So we're more interested in that kind of stimulated the rate cut. But what about the unemployment? And that's something to it kind of remains a mystery here. This is what we know so far, and let's dive in deeper here in our key levels. Okay, so actually, this version of Bookmap. Okay, I showed this on Friday. Well, I've showed it many times. I'm using 7.6. This is the production version of Bookmap, and everyone else can use it right now. And I'm also connecting to Bookmap data, okay, for the S&P and well, the Nasdaq, also just the CME Group futures. Okay, now Bookmap data allows me to zoom out like this, and I've got all sorts of data in here that goes back. Well, let's see how far. Okay, now if you guys are interested in doing this, because there were some questions about this, and what exactly is it, and what does it mean here? All right, because look how I can zoom out to 2022 here. Okay, January, or even before that, of 2022. All right, so what you will need to be able to do this is you will need Bookmap data, this 7.6, and then you will also need to input the, here I'll show you how. We'll click on the plus tab here. We'll select Bookmap data, futures, and then CME here. Okay. Now just put in the continuous symbol, so you don't have to put in the contract for December, which is Z. Okay, Z5. Instead, just put in ES, and you'll see it. So let's just do an example here for the Russell. I'll select the Russell here. Okay, RTY. That's it. And I'll just hit subscribe, and then we'll wait for some downloaded data here, and then we'll go and I'll show you. Now you can see when I input that, what happens here. It does put the contract spec on here, or the expiration on here. All right, so that's what I inputted though, and that's important because otherwise what you'll see is the Z contract, and you'll see in September how it starts to pick up, but there's very little data beforehand. All right. All right, let me see if there's any questions on that immediately here. Let's go over to Discord. Good morning, Alois, Shark, Stephen, Dan. Thank you, Dan, for putting that link to the pilot program in there. Okay, and also in YouTube. Excellent. All right. Trading is live. Good morning, Robert. Hello. Mick Loco. All right. Okay. I think we're all caught up then. YouTube, let's see. I think there's a question here. Does the Bookmap have its own data, or can I buy data from an exchange? Okay, so yeah, we do offer it. You can get it from our bookmap.com website after you first subscribe to Bookmap. Okay, we show this in the onboarding webinars that we have 3 times a week. How we can buy this and see for ourselves, please guide. Well, just go to bookmap.com and that's it. You know, let me show you. Okay, Dan just did it earlier today, the onboarding webinar. So just go to bookmap.com and then you can log in up here and you know, you can look at the pricing packages in here if you want, and choose what you want to do here. Global and Global Plus will connect to basically all markets. The difference between Global and Global Plus is the ability to trade from the Bookmap chart and a whole slew of add-ons. You can see right here all of these add-ons in here. like about a dozen or so, are only available with Global Plus. All right, that's the big distinction. Okay, so let's move on, we just went through how to look at all of this data within Bookmap. Let's just jump over to that Russell for a second here, and we'll do the same thing. Okay, just going to zoom out. All right, and I continue to zoom out. And actually for the Russell, I don't know if we go back that far. I'm showing up to August of 2025, so several months in here is what we have. Okay. Yeah. So it's the ES and the NQ though offer those years in there. So this is something new for us. Anyway, let's look at our key levels here. All right, and what I can do in here as well is there's a different view that we can look at, and I want to show you guys this. I've showed it before, but just hang in there with me on this. We're going to look at candles on the weekly, and there we go. And you can see this lack of data here. Well, that's the weekend, right? So you know, everything we see here is the beginning of the week here, and the all of this data in here. Okay, so that's the candle here, the big green candle in our breakout. All right, and this is yeah, back in October about the tariffs, and then you can see our breakout above it, and then you can see the profit taking, you know, the last week, beginning of last week, and today, and this is what we have so far in the weekly candle. All right, so let's look at the daily candle. Okay, so right now our key levels, well, the all-time highs, and then also I'm looking at this level here, just go across the top, and 6,800. Okay, in the S&P E-mini. Let's zoom in a little bit further. Okay, we'll put in our all-time high level up here as well. Okay. And let's put on some daily candlestick candles. There we go. Okay, so here's Sunday night, here's today, and funny, it didn't do it for last week. Okay. Oh, there they are. Okay, great. All right. Let's take a look at this context in here between the candles and our higher time frame levels. Right. So we went through our impetus, what's moving the markets, and then we're looking at now technically our higher time frame levels and what's going on at some of these levels in here. Okay, we have a gap fill in here. It was filled, it looks like, and the back and forth today. So maybe the swing low here from last week, something to be interested in right here, around 68.50. Okay, and that's the big or half figure, so that's going to be of interest as well. All right. Any questions so far? All right, well, you can see the 9:30 cash open and the sell-off here pretty strong, and from the around 69.10 on down to you know, 68.65. All right, so a nice you know, 50 point, 55 point move or so. Let's zoom in a little bit further here. And let's take a look at what's happening right in some of these areas here. Okay, so a lot of liquidity here, and down below at this 68.60. Okay, these areas got filled in here, and we see the reaction with some buying coming in. And this is, you know, one of the setups we're looking for in the, well, it's still kind of evolving, but that trend line break and accumulation. And this is the structure that we're kind of interested in right now, because I'll talk about this in just a second here. But the why this swing here, right? Well, because of all of the buying that came in here, right? So this is how we can, you have to be kind of careful with that trend line break and accumulation, which we've mentioned many times. That's why we're looking for 3 levels of high liquidity getting filled and passive accumulation on the bid. They have to be significant, because what happens is instead is you get this one bump in here. The volume looks pretty decent here on the buy side, but we get another sell off here and go to the lows. So what we're getting is kind of a rounded bottom or head and shoulders pattern, instead of like extended move to the downside and then all of a sudden boom, the buyers come in and lift things very quickly. Right, we're not seeing that right now. We're just seeing that there's some buying interest here, but we came back down again, and then we can look for maybe down in here. In fact, we can even look at their CVD in here, and you can see the divergence in here. Okay, now you don't need to necessarily look at CVD for that to tell you. You most likely know that all of this buying in here, and then compare this selling to this selling. Okay, let me just mark that up. Okay, so compare all of this selling in here to this selling in here. Okay, we're going to get some divergence, and here it is in the CVD. Okay, so we made a lower low here. We made a higher low here. Okay, so are we going to get buyers here? And we're going to break this structure around this 71 area here. We'd look for our buyers to come in. Okay? And then we'd look to see if they're going to take this higher then at this point. Okay, and we get maybe a breakout of this small range in here. Now it looks pretty good. Maybe we'll get a breakout up to just around here. That would be the first target. It would be around this 74.5 or so. Okay, so not much. 4 or 5 points maybe, but we'll need to see this in here. And let's look at this a little bit closer in here. Yeah, we may get it here. You see the bid starting to light up underneath here. Okay, there's interest in the bid. Now I want to see these guys on the offer pull. Okay, right now it's stronger on the offer, right? So this is the context of reading the top edge. Okay, we're interested in this top edge right now. Okay, and what's happening up here. Okay, and you can see that we trade into high liquidity here. We do see some buying interest, and they did break that structure very for just a small moment, and then we come back in, and the sellers just came back in hard here. All right, so this is why we want to understand the order flow up at some of these areas. It was looking like maybe it could. The bid was starting to light up here a little bit. We started to see some buyers here, and there's no follow through. All right, so we'll look for another rotation back up here, and we can look for high liquidity here again to fill on the bid. Okay, that's what we want to see. Okay, we want to lean on all of these buyers in here. We want them at our backs. Okay, so right now, are we getting them? Not really. Boy, let me jump over here and see if there's any questions on this. And guys, I will get into the, hold on a minute. I want to show we'll continue our discussion from Friday's webinar on the low volume pullback. Okay. See here. Yeah, Robert, these are tricky. Like, the momentum is pretty strong to the downside. This is a really strong move, but we're looking for when this might shift, and these are the elements to look for, right? We're still having divergence here, basically. We're going lower here on some selling, but it's equal here to this latest swing over here. All right, so we're going a bit lower here. Let's see if we can trade into this high liquidity here, and let's see the reaction down here. Okay, down to lows of the day. In fact, I'm going to jump over to the candlestick chart for just a second here, and let's take a look at some of the levels in here as well. Okay, this is that gap we were talking about earlier on the hourly here. This is the daily over here, and looking pretty good on the daily here. We see the candle from this was on Thursday, then Friday, and then today. We're making lower highs, and we're seeing these red bodies in here. So maybe a retest back down into this 68.40 or so. Okay, and we're seeing the momentum coming in here. All right. Yeah, I mean it's a Robert. That's you. It sounds like you took one of these and then you had a loss on it. That's why we start with the impetus of what's moving the market, right? I mean, and we don't want to fight that. And right now we're getting some profit taking. It's continuing, the overall themes here are not very positive. I mean, we do have the Fed cut. That's good, but we sold off. We also had earnings, but we sold off. Earnings were good in the tech sector. So earnings have been good across the board, more or less. Okay, so and we're selling off. So we're getting a lot of profit taking, and we want to really see something where people are interested in buying up the bottom edge in some of these areas here, and we're not seeing it right now. Okay, we're looking for this potential in here, right in here, right? It still looks good to me. And you can see that the buying started to come in, and we're just looking for maybe a move up into like here or something. But you can see that the sellers came in, pretty hard here. We're still moving lower. So let's focus in a little bit more here. And as you said, the accumulation was not. It was only on 2 levels. Now it's on 3. I really like to see, though, that accumulation, passive accumulation, at more in kind of a tighter range, like in here. And I don't really see too much. This is by far the best at 60. Okay, so I see a little bit in here, but it's not too compelling at the moment. All right, so I like this 68.50, and now we're starting to see maybe some of the sellers and some profit taking down in these areas here, and on a very low time on today or lower time frame here. Okay. What's the difference between a sweep and a stop? Well, an order book sweep is something where everything is taken. And an order book sweep can be a stop run, but it doesn't have to be. Suppose you're some larger player and you just want to dump and get out, right? You'll sweep the order book against you. Okay, if you have, basically it's a really simple concept. If you just look at like all of these levels of liquidity in here, what if you had like here? In fact, I'll show you this. This is an interesting feature in Bookmap. So right click in the column, configure column, and show the aggregate. So all this does is take the first price level here on the bid, add it to the next one, add it to the next one. So all the liquidity is added up. What if I have 500 contracts right here? Okay, where would I get filled? Okay, I would get filled all the way down to here. All right, now if I had 501, I would actually move price one more tick into here, and there'd be 570 contracts at this 51 and a half. Okay, this is how the market works. So I would take all this liquidity here to get my order, my market sell order filled. Okay, so that would be like an order book sweep. Okay, now a lot of time, most of the time, the sweep is a stop run. It means that there's a lot of orders down here where maybe it kind of ignites a stop. The stops start to trigger, and they trigger one after another, and they take all of this liquidity until all of those stops are filled, because they're likely a stop loss. So when they're touched, they turn into market, okay? And that will sweep the order book as well. All right, so that's the distinction between the two. All right. Yeah, it's interesting interesting stuff in here to look at the order book in different ways like that. And in Bookmap, we do a pretty nice job of look at the configuration in here. You can look at the aggregate. You can show it as percentage in here if you want. This was by requested by a professional trader. He didn't want to look at all the liquidity at these levels. He wanted to look at the percentages, and it adjusts based on your zoom in here. So in fact, now I've got it as percentages on aggregate here, but I want to look at it not by aggregate. Okay, so you can see the most percentage in this view is 5% is up here, right? So on that view, then you'd look for these buyers here to trade right up to here, right up to this where there's a high amount of liquidity. Yeah, it's really great. Some of these things, there's so much to demo that a lot of times I just try to go through the basics in here, and I kind of gloss over a lot of these different features in here. Okay. Okay, thank you, Alois. Yeah, about XAU, we do not connect to CFDs. There's no order book, they're over the counter, etc. All right, well, we're at our 68.50 level in here, and let's see. I'm looking for a reaction down in this level here for sure. Look how thinly it was traded up in here on that sell-off that we were looking at earlier in here after this move up here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Look at that. Okay, we found some buyers, right? Okay, let's see. So they just traded up into that 54 liquidity, and the buying looks pretty strong here. And let's see if we can get up higher here. Let's see if we can get up to 58. Okay, there's also a small swing here, but I really like kind of this 58 level up here. Okay, we're getting a pullback already. And let's see, guys, this also counts as a low volume pullback here. Okay, this is we're kind of marrying the two strategies together from that pilot program. Okay, but it does count, and it is a low volume pullback. Okay, so now we're looking for the buyers yet again. Okay, let's see if they do not show up in here, this will turn into a kind of impulse move one, failed, and then it rolls over again. Okay, but so that's why we need to see the commitment in the order book as well as from the buyers here. There we go. Okay, so let's see if they can bring it up into our 58 level now and continue with this. Okay, we see that's a lot of buying in here, relative buying to these other areas in here. This is our kind of rounded bottom in here that we're starting to see. Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at the NQ in just a minute. Seems like the buyers are in weekend mode. No, I think there's, I mean, look, I don't want to make these correlations, but the week before we saw like metal sell off, and I think that was just a lot of profit taking after like exponential moves to the upside. And kind of waiting to see what happens in some of these stocks and after the earnings. And there's a lot of market, uncertainty out there, and profit taking makes sense and higher time frames. All right, let's see if those buyers, here's our pullback. Now we're looking again for that extension, and let's see if we can get our buyers to come back up into 58 here. Okay, our liquidity level up there. Okay, it looks pretty good. We might even get a move back up into, let's see, so 58, 60 looks pretty good, but let's see if we can get it even maybe back up into 64. You can see high liquidity just came in up here at 71. Okay, that's a pretty big target or a move there. Jump back to YouTube. All right, we'll come back in here and take a look and see if those buyers come back in or not. But we just had a bunch of selling, and we're rotating back up, and like let's see if we can get a squeeze here going now. Okay, looking for the buyers to squeeze the sellers in here and see a nice little pop here. There's our 58. Our 58 just transacted. Okay, so we're looking still for buyers to take this higher. Okay, so let's see if we can get this. We'll come back in and just take a look again, guys. We're just looking at well, we're going over that trend line break and accumulation trade. We're looking at the behavior of traders. We're not calling the market here. We're not it's not a trade recommendation. It's not a trading room. We're understanding the behavior, and then we are looking for certain things if they follow through or not due to that behavior. Okay, but that's what we're here for. We're here to read the order flow, right? And we're here to do it in real time. Okay, hindsight, yeah, we can go over it in hindsight, and we'll be right 100% of the time. Okay, we want to like test these in the live market. All right, let's jump over to the NQ. I bet you the NQ is flying to the upside. Let's take a look. All right. Okay, yeah, pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, I kind of like this area where it dropped from up in here. So around this 26,080 or to 85, somewhere around up in there. Okay, so here's our break of structure. Okay, and Shark. I don't know, is Shark in here today? I think so. Yes, there he is. Okay, Shark. In terms of this low volume pullback, okay. I mean, you guys have been you guys have been trading it in this reversal pattern too, this trend line break and accumulation, no doubt, right? Right here, here's a low volume pullback right here. Okay, look what it did. It bounced off of the structure right here. Okay, right. So now we're looking at the next structure, and then we're looking at this high here, and we get our buyers. Well, actually, we could look at a small one in here. We start to get our buyers up in here. Let's see if we can get price discovery higher, right? So let's see if we can get a measured move out of this, at least that structure, and maybe take some off from that, right? So we look for a move up to here, and let's see if we get that. Okay, not only did we get that, we got higher. Okay, so actually this was the move we were looking for, right? 80, 85, something like that. So good one. Anyway, Shark is here. He's here. I see him in the room. Yeah, he might be busy. Guys, this is some good stuff here. The looking for that passive accumulation, and then here's the rubber band effect after this huge big sell-off here. Okay, we're up to our 85 target as well up here on this NASDAQ that we had just mentioned. Okay, or level, I should say, not target. All right, let's jump back to the ES. The ES is going great, and we mentioned this is for John, and I don't know if John is in here or not. He's probably in this trade. Let's see. Anyway, John he's trading options levels, and then he's also looking at liquidity that comes into the order book before he even gets involved. Okay, and he would have seen this up in here. He would also be looking at this one up here at 75, but this one here at 71, he'd be looking for that as soon as we start to see those aggressive buyers, and as soon as we start to see that passive accumulation in here. Okay, so this would be the target up here, and it makes sense. It's right here by the swing as well. I was going to say trading is life, and the low volume pullback in here. And actually, let me bring up, this was the webinar from, if you guys want to review it, low volume pullback setup explained. It's here, and I'll put this link into the chat for you if you guys are interested in reviewing this. All right, there you go. And over in Discord, okay, here it is, just in case you want to review that one. Okay, now trading is life. Here you've been trading this one a bunch of times. This is one of the nuances you put together very early on. Here's your low volume pullback right here. Okay, look at that strong volume. It breaks the structure, pulls back. Now, yeah, I want to be a little careful with this example here. The way we've been covering the low volume pullback is looking for a big break like this and price discovery to the upside, and then we're looking for a pullback. Okay, so we're looking for this to clear all of this price action in here, and it did. Okay, and then here's a small pullback right here. Okay, these are very small ones. But they happen all the time, and a lot of this has to do with a few factors and the nuances in the setup. Okay, which I have not covered yet in detail. Well, in that webinar I did, but I have not documented it for you guys in the pilot program yet. Okay, I will. This is a pullback though, and what happened here? What's the dynamic in the order flow? Broke the structure. This is the impulse move. It traded into high liquidity. It pulled back, okay, to where it broke out from, and then we're looking for it to roll over again to the upside, and we're looking for our buyers in here, and we're looking for the next impulse move. Now, this is such a small one here that we'd be looking for, getting in as soon as we see some of those buyers up in these areas in here, and we always say try to take some off at the top of the range, because this pullback is so small in here. You wouldn't get much out of that. You'd have to maybe be more aggressive with your stop and just get stopped out quickly because it's got to do this impulse move. Otherwise, why take a tick or two as your profit to the top of the range here. All right. All right, let's jump back. Okay, look at that. It traded. as well. And we're up at this swing up here too, 70, 72, a bit above it here. All right. Oh, thanks for the yeah, love weed. Thanks for the compliment in there. Let's see. I think I'm all caught up on questions over there or comments, and let's jump back to Discord. Okay. All right, I really don't have too much of insight or opinion at the moment in this market. I was kind of looking for this move earlier over here. And then, you mentioned that a lot of times what we get is the kind of head and shoulders out of that. And you'll see this again and again. I'll show you what I mean here. For you guys, hey, if you guys over in Discord just want to let me know, like, hey, I know what you're going to cover, Bruce. Just tell me is fine. I won't go over it. But I like reviewing some of these things in here. So this is a course that we put together on the Learning Center a while back, and this we just have the one here that's showing the inverse head and shoulders in diagram form, but this is the diagram. And get to it here. Yeah, so this is the downtrend, heavy selling into high liquidity, pulls back. There's very little buying in here. Okay, this is your low volume pullback on the way down to high liquidity. Okay, and then again, heavy selling into high liquidity. And now we're starting to see some buyers though, but they may break a small structure here, but they're not breaking the bigger structure yet. Okay, so you see this in here, and there's some interest in buying, but selling again takes it down into that high liquidity. And then we'll start to see more buyers coming in. So this is kind of rounding basically. That's that inverse head and shoulders. Okay, and then we're going to be looking for less volume. Okay, and we see that order volume and order shift in here, order flow shift, and there's less selling, and it makes a higher low, and there's more buying coming in. Again, this is what we're looking for, and then we're looking for this structure to break on high volume. Okay, and then we look for, we can take some some off at maybe some of the swings, and then we're looking for a low volume pullback here in a continuation move. Okay, so there's our low volume pullback, and then we're looking for those buyers to come back in again. Okay, same idea. It just took a while for it to kind of unfold. Okay, so same idea though, is that trend line break and accumulation. Yeah, you're seeing the low volume pullbacks everywhere. You can't help see it. Shark, and yeah, it's a rich territory to be in. Okay, but just try to look for good ones. Ones that I think you're still looking at ones inside the range, which those can work as range bound trades. Okay, maybe we'll have to make a distinction there, because range bound trades can work with this. It's more of a grinding move, but it's not really a low volume pullback the way we've been covering it. We're looking for a break, price discovery, pullback, and a continuation, basically like a flag pattern. Okay, so like look at this break here. Right now, what is it breaking though? It just broke this range here, but not by much, and not on a lot of volume either. Okay, so are we really looking for this to come up here? Well, in this view, no. Okay, but let's zoom out a little bit better, and now we have a little bit different perspective. Looks pretty good. If you're looking for this, then we're looking for maybe back up to 72 to take some off. Maybe we'll get a continuation. Okay, because strong move. Okay, and then this whole area in here is kind of our pullback. Okay, on a higher time frame. Right, we talked about this on Friday, where like the structure is different on the higher time frame. I mean, it's not different, it's just more complex, I should say. You're looking at wedges instead of like a quick pullback and then a continuation, right? So yeah, here we're getting that. We're getting that follow through, and we're looking for coming up to top of the range. Okay, and yeah, I would be taking some off. I do like this looks like a juicy target up here at 75, but like I don't see much buying up here, and I see selling here on this leg. Okay, so that means I'd be taking some off up here. Anyway, let's find some other good ones, Shark. It's kind of up for discussion. Like, what do you consider a break of structure on what time frame? So it always comes back to what time frame are we looking at here? Okay, and what time frame are you trading? How much risk do you want to put on? Because you can really dig into the much smaller time frames, even microstructural areas. So for example, this break here, yeah, it broke structure, but it only broke this structure. Okay, so where are we looking for this move to unfold? Where are we looking for it to go? Just to here. That's it. Okay, that would be the move. So you'd be looking in, I don't know, maybe it's this structure in here, maybe even a little bit lower, somewhere around in here, right? You'd be getting in and you'd take it off here. That's it. So on this small time frame, that's what you'd be looking for. Okay, here's another one right here. Okay, so but let's just zoom out and look at our bigger picture, right? So that's where maybe I don't want to get. Does that make sense, Shark? I hope I'm not confusing. I mean, if you take all of these things, it's more just to understand the concept than it is to trade it. We're not really looking for trading opportunities out of these smaller moves in here like this. Okay, but here's a low volume pullback right here. Look at here's the kind of, let's just go through it. Structure, break, pullback, low volume here, looking for a continuation move down, just down to the bottom of the range here. I don't like this one so well, just because I don't see a lot of selling here. Okay, but I would look for that. Okay, and then you can see this actually turned into something a little bit more now. Okay, kind of this wedge here. And now it broke this one, right? These are really tricky, I find, Shark and others, because like, this is why I say, like, we want to see the move really unfold. Like, there's commitment behind it. Okay, because let's just clear all this. Let's suppose your range is here. Okay, it's just kind of a crappy range. Let's try that again. Your range is something like this. Well, just for the sake of this, we'll make it a little bit cleaner. We'll say this is your range up here, right? this break in here is not much. We got to see, you know, it move away from this value area here where this back and forth is. So we're looking for, I like to look for the measured move. I like to see it move like this. Okay, then I'm looking for a low volume pullback, you know, somewhere in this area here, you know, somewhere, maybe half the way. I mean, we have to take a look at it. And then we're looking for the move back down, take some off, but then we're looking for the continuation move to the next level. Okay. All right. So now if it doesn't do that though, if it doesn't move away from here enough, what you can get is these moves back in, back into the range. And then a move to the other side, in fact, up to the 75 and 76 liquidity. In fact, this is a setup that we cover as well. All right, let me show you guys that just in case. So go back to the Learning Center. And we'll scroll down again, go to the supply and demand setups in here. And it is this failed flag. So it's a great one. I love this pattern because you've already see how you've already got the impulse move here. Back. Okay, so you've already got the impulse move here, and then you got this chop, and then here's your breakout, and it fails, and then we get our continuation move. Okay, so these are great because like it kind of peaked above here. Maybe it traps a lot of traders, stops a lot out, and then we see heavy selling coming in on the other side, and then we get that continuation to the downside. Okay, this one's actually very similar. They're all quite similar to the mid-morning reversal, failed mid-morning reversal. It's the same idea, except that usually you get one leg and you get another leg, and you get like a double top. Okay, but here's the difference, and then Duzman, this is for you as well. The difference here is we're going with the bigger trend. All right, so Duzman and others, I'm myself included, like with that trend line break and accumulation, you know, a lot of times let's suppose that, you know, that over the, you know, last, you know, several months, you know, price has been going to all-time highs, and you're looking for that trend line break and accumulation for a short, and you're not going with the bigger picture, the bigger trend. So that's why a lot of those setups that we have as in the replay files, they're all longs, because we're looking for the move back down, and we're looking for that kind of reversal on a pullback for the day, but to go with the higher time frame move to the upside. All right, we want to be on the right side of that. Okay, so this move in here is beautiful. In fact, right here that we just I just showed. So this failed and came back in, other side, and even price discovery. Okay. And here's another low volume pullback in here. Okay, and then there's the move, and you get out. You know. So you know, we don't know if this is going to continue or not, and you know, continue to grind higher. That's why we want to take some profits in some of these areas, because we know that usually is what we're looking for some of those moves. All right. Serious sign? I don't know. DNT, what do you mean? Is that a typo, or are you are you not happy? Looks pretty good to me. Guys, we're not, let's be let's try to make this a little more real. We're not trying to bottom tick and top tick everything. We're trying to take the meat out of what we do know and what we can take out of the market. Move on. Move to the next one. You moved your take profit and it goes. Hey, don't worry about it. You followed your plan. You did it. Fantastic. DNT, just reduce some risk along the way, and there's going to be so many opportunities. It's going to happen again and again and again. So don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. I would definitely learn from it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying just disregard it. Go back and look at it and understand why. How do you want to handle some of these things? Was it a higher time frame move? If it's a higher time frame move, on a higher time frame level, maybe you do want to hold it a little bit longer, or at least give it the chance for it. Okay, this is again going to happen through your own experience, and from using the replay mode and back testing, but moreover, like just starting to understand some of the nuances of, like, okay, I notice that on my higher time frame levels, if we start to see like a trading down into a higher time frame level, and I start to see a lot of buying interest after a lot of passive accumulation by buyers on the bid, those can lead into some really powerful moves that maybe you do want to hold on a little bit longer. And you're going to kick yourself when it doesn't work, so don't worry about it. Just continue to build your confidence, hit your singles, and forget about that. You traded it great. How could you do better, though? All right, let me go back to YouTube and any questions. Okay, Tom. I don't really quite follow. While we're helping out the apex predators, I mean, I'm not. I mean, like, um, the minnows here are keeping well out of the way. Uh, I don't really. I mean, those. Look, the prop firms can offer amazing opportunities, and liquidity and access to some potential profits. Be careful. You're going to have to trade differently. It might create bad habits. Just know what you're getting involved in, and understand that a lot of times, I mean, you're basically trading a bucket shop. It's a digital bucket shop. They're not real trades. You're trading on their servers. Basically, it's in sim, basically, and the and there can be a lot of sharecropper math that comes along with those policies or procedures that they have. Okay, that's part of the deal. It makes it difficult for you to win. And there's all sorts of ways that they, continue to come back and maybe change the rules or whatever. So these are some comments on it, some negatives, but like I said, there's a lot of positives too. Like, how great is it that you have access to, get payouts? That's incredible, right? So just educate yourself, know what you're getting involved with. All right. All right, guys, let's see what else is happening here. Well, we kind of are just consolidating right now. Bid looks strong right now. Let's see if we get a little bit of buying up here, and maybe we can come back up to 78. Just some back and forth in here, but not really looking for it. I was just saw this bid kind of spark up a little bit here. Guys, again, also like on breakout trades, we don't really haven't really covered a breakout. I mean, I go through them all the time of looking at kind of weak tops and bottoms, but like just note some of these things in here. Note how a lot of times, I mean, look at this structure in here. They're selling, there's exhaustion up in these highs up in here. They're selling. Okay, it kind of breaks down here. And then we see maybe a potential if we get buyers up in here to squeeze all of that selling. And then we want to go with the bigger trend though. Okay, this failed here, this breakout. Okay, so what's going on up here? Are we reversing? Are we starting to see like maybe these buyers are getting squeezed here? Okay, I don't know. I'm not really seeing much at the moment, but it's a harder read at the moment. What I wanted to mention though is you'll note a lot of times that some of these breakdowns like this, and then the continuation of the bigger trend to the other side of the range, and maybe price discovery beyond it. Because how many times have we been in those things, right? Here's our range. Let's just kind of, put a range together. This is outside of the range, and they failed. Right, so let's see if we can get sellers to come back in and trade back down to the bottom of this swing here. Okay, we're not looking at order flow at the moment. We're talking about the price structure. Yeah, this is a good point, Robert, about describing the charts really helps you. That's why we go through the markups. This is exactly why. And there, for those of you out there, Robert, did you share your journal with me? Not sure if you did or not. bring it up. I don't think you did. I got lows. Okay. Anyway, let me just show you here. I'll show you Duzman's here. Okay, so this is his replay trend line break accumulation file. Now, your guys' equity curve, you know that the setup's going to be in there, so you're going to look for it, but you're going to, and you want to see, obviously, that you understand it and you're winning with it, but it's not so much about this. It's more about your building experience in here. Okay, it's really coming down to, okay, I understand the setup, I know how to take it, I know what I'm looking for, and I know how to do it in replay mode, basically mimicking real-time trading, maybe even faster, most likely faster than real-time trading. And then you're going to look how to improve on it. Then you're going to jump into the forward testing in the live market, but you will be in sim. Okay, so you take out the emotion of the money, but it's going to slow your, I mean, it's the next step in learning, but you won't go through as many instances, because in replay mode you can trade the same setup over and over and over again and learn the details in it. Okay, and then when you're forward testing, you got to wait. You got to wait for the live market, and that's going to slow your learning curve down. However, you're also going to make that transition from replay to live market, and what you want to do is you want to build your confidence. Now, why I'm showing this one in here is because from Duzman is, then go to your trade notes here. Okay, and look at this. This is building your playbook, and it is through this experience in here that you're going to build your edge. Okay, so he has got all his markups in here. He's got notes in here as well of his setup, and who's gonna win, right? Who's gonna start being profitable? The person that goes through this and understands better how to trade it, or someone who's just trading in the live market and trying different setups here and there, right? Instead, you're really gaining deep experience in here. You're going deep with it, and you're not going wide with it. You're going deep with it and understanding the nuances in it, and you're actually trading it in replay mode. Okay, that makes a big difference, right? And then look at all these examples. Okay, he's got a beautiful playbook here, and it's not going to be long, Duzman. Like you've got a ton of experience in this. You put your time in, and pretty soon this is going to play out really nicely in the live market. It's already been working for you, I know. Thanks, Trading His Life. Yeah. Let's see, Robert. You made 25 ticks or points in. Oh, is this overall? Oh, there's your journal. Okay, let me add it in here. This is great, guys. I love this journal, and using it in Bookmap is fantastic. Okay. Can you also save your forward testing and send it? I don't really. I can show your live journal here, but I don't want people to get the wrong idea. You have some nice profits there. I am not going to say that, guarantee like you're going to get profits like this or anything. I mean, you're an experienced trader, Robert. You have clearly put your time in and studied this a lot. And I mean, just go into the pilot program chat room and look at all your markups, right? That's amazing. Here, in fact, why don't I just do this? I can show this part here. So we'll go to the notes column from his journal, and then okay, thank you. All right, you gave me the journal for the forward testing in sim. Okay, because this is his live one here, guys. I don't want to show all these profits and you know people to get the wrong idea, because he's doing extremely well. The So here he has a loss. Okay, he marked it up, and he's going to go back in and look at this and understand why. And in fact, you might want to revisit some of these, Robert. From this is today's, right? Okay, so come back in here and God, you're good. You've already marked up today's and put it in here, and then come back in and mark up some notes. Why? Why did you not? Why did you have a loss in here? Okay, and maybe it's fine. Maybe you traded it just right, and note that. I mean, here this looks fantastic to me. If as long as you got your that high liquidity in here. Oh, I think you mentioned this one earlier. Yeah. So we didn't have it on all three levels in here. We had maybe two passive accumulation in here, and then you saw this, and it broke this structure, the diagonal, but not the horizontal. It did break it in here. It did, but it failed, right? And then you took your loss really, really quick, bottom of the range in here. Great, great. There's some nuances in there to learn from, and I think you already mentioned it in the chat already today. So, way to go. Okay, let me add in your journal. Okay, you don't have too many in your forward testing, or this is replay. Is that right? Okay. Yeah, Robert, I don't know about this replay. No, you got over 20. Never mind. I say at least 20 is what we need. We need to see. You've got 22 in here, 22 trades in your replay mode. Great. So this is using replay, and this is when you first started off. This is the first step in the pilot program. Okay, so you can see, like everyone's equity curve is going to look like more or less like this, or you might see a little bit in the beginning, you might have some losses in here that kind of you're just getting used to it, but then you start to get a feel for it and you know what you're looking for. You're likely going to have a positive equity curve. It's not so much about that, like I said. It's also looking at average winners versus losers. It's also marking up your charts. You're building experience. You know what this thing looks like for this particular setup. Yeah, you had some problems with NQ, you said. Okay, but it's this building of experience in here that makes all the difference. Okay, you have an edge. All right, and you've built it. All right, like this one here. Okay, I mean, it looks pretty good for a breakout here. Okay, I would look for one more push higher here into this maybe 80 liquidity up here. Maybe you can get up into 90 here, maybe, right? But I don't really like it too much. It's not bad. It's not bad. This is like, we talk about that cup and handle and whatnot, but it's not bad. It's not great though. I would not want to put a lot of risk on this. This is what I was mentioning earlier. I do like very much that it traded to the outside edge here and it failed and it came back in. Okay, so we're getting another, maybe we'll get another rotation here. We'll see. But you can see this up here too. This is really the swing we need to break, is up here, and we didn't. Okay, we broke this one here. These can be very trappy. I mean, like, this is that trap that we got to be aware of. It's not bad though. We're still, I'm looking up here. We may come right back up here and revisit this on heavy buying up here. If we do, likely get the break, and then I would look for kind of a measured move, maybe around 84. Something like that. Yeah, it's great, Robert. Yeah, you're welcome. It's also the community, like you were saying. Thanks to the other guys in the pilot program there. The edge is, you're building out your edge. Exactly. Yeah, a lot of liquidity down here. 60, 55. Low volume pullback right here, but again, this one's tricky. Um, it we're looking for the range. This is tricky in here. I shouldn't say it's a low volume pullback, right? Uh, but because I'm still looking for this kind of cup and handle, and maybe this breakout here, and buying up here at this top edge. Yeah, and then let's get the squeeze here. So this could be a violent move, actually. Yeah, they're starting to accumulate a little bit, those aggressive buyers here. Okay, and this should go very quickly, probably up into like 82, maybe 84. I would look for that, just because there's a lot of selling in right in this area here that's going to be trapped. Right, we look for that stop run here. Let's look for it. Okay, we got a small stop run. I'm looking for a lot bigger than that. I'll take a cumulative volume delta off. Okay, Trader Map Pro, you're looking at lots of liquidity below. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't zoom out enough. Yep. Yeah, a ton down here. Well, let's see. All right, let me get to more questions in here or comments. Yeah, no, Duzman, you got it. I think you've been working so hard, and uh, you've been really focused in on these elements, which is excellent. I think now you know the elements, what you're looking for. Okay, and the context of these elements. I think where it's going to really make a lot more sense to you, and I don't know if you're ready for it or not, but I think so, is the bigger picture. Okay, just zoom out just a little bit, right? And understand the kind of bigger structure. And yeah, this is a limitation of the replay files, is we can't really show that. But that's okay. You know, you'll get it. Maybe we can find a way to show it somehow and still not give it away in the replay files. Yeah, this market's gotten very choppy here. All right, let's zoom out. Let's look at our bigger picture in here. What's happening? Okay, so this is really nice sell off here from the cash open, and again, guys, even look at this example in here, right? So here's the trap above here, and then look at the selling coming in, and you look for it the bottom of the range here. Now it just blew through it, and that can happen in the cash open. It blew through this one too, and came down quite a bit lower. Okay, so we know sellers are in control for the day so far. Okay, no matter until we get back up into these areas, and we'll see. Okay, so I think DNT is he's looking at the bigger picture in here, and he's looking for a potential move back down to all of this in here. Okay, this would be the first target though, or stop would be well, actually this swing here would be the first one. Okay, so it would be looking for that. And then this one down here where this structure broke down here. Okay, so you guys can kind of see what what I'm talking about in here, about these looking for pullbacks, etc. Like, see the structure and see the break, and look where the buying came in. This is what we want to recognize. Yeah, I think what might be helpful for you, Duzman, is the again, going back into the this slide here, right? And going through this for yourself. And start the day off. Like, what's moving the market? Put this together. How, so we did this earlier, and we're like, well, we had all sorts, kind of a important week last week. We had what, 5 or 6 of the Mag 7 stocks report earnings. They were stellar, and we had the Fed drop rates at all-time highs. This is weird. We had inflation data kind of subsiding, and we have no clue what's happening with employment data, and that's really weird too. So looking for some profit taking after something like that makes some good sense. So we're starting to see that. This, we saw it on Friday some, and then we're seeing it today. Well, let's just go to the daily chart here. You can see the wicks in here, right? So anyway, all right, guys, let's see. Any more questions? I think we'll wrap it up. Eric, you're new to Bookmap. Welcome. Oh, thanks for this. For you like the stream. Great. Your primary strategy, you're looking at gamma, high volume pivot levels. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. Okay. Okay. Also, you iced. Yeah. So Eric, so my streams are Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. East Coast time. All right. I would recommend though, like, you may want to go to the calendar, and if you go over to go to bookmap.com and then go to education, and then scroll down, you'll see our calendar in here. Tom B is up next, later, 1 p.m. Frank Marrero, this will be in Spanish. Options with Doug. So for you options guys, I would highly recommend you come to Doug's, okay, at 1:30 p.m. Okay, so he's on Mondays and Wednesdays, I believe, 1:30 p.m. And then we've got a crypto trader at 4, and we also have Brazilian markets in here, with Everton. That's later today at 3. And then tomorrow we've got, you can see, only 3 events tomorrow, on Tuesday, but on the 5th you can see we got like 6 events, right? Today we have something like 9 events or something. It's just a ton. You're welcome, Shark. The Yeah, let's wrap it up, guys. But just we'll get into more details with that low volume pullback. No problem. But what I think, Shark, is like, for all of you guys, it's going to turn this the trendline break accumulation, the reversal, into that trade for you. Also, you can trade it down to it, like this low volume pullback, all the way down into some of these high levels, higher time frame levels like 68.50, and then here's the reversal. There's a low volume pullback right there, and then here's the breakout. Low volume pullback is kind of iffy in here. There's one here, okay, but not too good here, and you don't really have a chance to get in on much in here. Okay, until maybe here. And it's not really much of a low volume pullback. It's more of a it's a more complex pattern. Okay, but we're looking for the continuation after seeing some of this buying coming in. Anyway, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming. Hit the like button over on YouTube. Come over to Discord. Partake in our programs over here. We have, like I said, streamers all day long, typically. And hopefully we'll see you over there. Okay. Yeah. Take care, everyone. Have a good evening or a good afternoon. All right. Bye bye.